Today, every students, good morning, class 9, civics chapter number 1. The name of the chapter is Democracy in the Contemporary World. You know that democracy means rule by the people. Actually, the power is in the hand of the people. Actually, there are three types of government: democracy, monarchy and dictatorship. Monarchy means rule by the king and democracy means rule by the people, of the people, for the people, according to Abraham Lincoln. Now, in this chapter, what is the meaning of contemporary? You can see here, contemporary. Contemporary means living. So, democracy in the contemporary world. What is the meaning of contemporary? I have told you now, living. Introduction. First of all, you are reading in class 9. You have to read the chapter very carefully. And I will explain all the topics. The book is about democracy. This book is about democracy. In this first chapter, we see how democracy has expanded during the last 100 years to more and more countries in the world. More than half of the independent countries in the world today are democracies. The expansion of democracy has not been smooth and straight. It has been several ups and downs in the different countries. It still remains an unstable and uncertain achievement. This chapter begins with the different stories on the making and unmaking of democracy from different parts of the world. These stories are meant to give a sense of what it means to experience democracy and its absence. We present the pattern of the spread of democracy first with a series of maps and then with a short history. The focus in this chapter is on the democracy within a country. But towards the end of the chapter, we take a look at democracy or its absence in the relation among different countries. We examine the working of some international organizations. This allows us to ask a big question: are we moving toward democracy in the global world? So I had already told you that contemporary means living, and I had already explained what is the meaning of democracy. Democracy has been spread most of the countries all over the world. Not every country is in the world. Some countries still dictatorship and monarchy, like Saudi Arabia. But in our India is a democratic country where the power is in the hands of the people of that country, in our country. Now, the name of you have to read the chapter. Now, two tales of democracy. Tales means a story. What is the meaning of tales? A story. And what is the meaning of contemporary living? Workers of my country, I have faith in Chile and its future. Other men will overcome this dark and bitter moment when treason seeks to prevail. Keep in mind that much sooner than later, the great avenues will again be opened through which will pass free men to construct a better society. Long live Chile, long live the people, long live workers. These are many last, and I am certain that my sacrifice will not be in vain. I am certain that at the very least, it will be a moral lesson that will punish felony, cowardice and treason. Actually, these are some extracts from the last speech of Salvador Allende. He was the president of Chile. Who was Salvador Allende? He was the president of Chile, a small country in South America. This speech was given on the morning of the 11th September 1973, the day his government was overthrown by the military. Allende was the founder leader of the Socialist Party of Chile. Who was Allende? He was the founder and leader of the Socialist Party of Chile and led the Popular Unity Coalition to victory in the presidential election in 1970. After being elected, the President Allende had taken several policies to help the poor, decisions to help the poor and workers. These included reform of educational system, free milk for children, and redistribution of land to the landless farmers. He was opposed to foreign companies taking away national resources like copper from the country. The landlords, the rich, and the church opposed his policies. Some other political party in Chile also opposed the government. So Salvador Allende, when he became the president of Chile, he introduced some policy. What was his policy? First of all, you have to know what was the policy of Salvador Allende. He helped the poor and the workers of Chile. He also reformed the educational systems, free milk for children, and redistribution of land to the landless farmers. That means the farmers who had no land, he distributed the lands. This theory, but this policy was opposed by the foreign companies of Chile, and some of the landlord and rich person and political parties of Chile opposed this policy. This is the first topic. I will give you some important facts from every topic, and you should write your notes in fair copy. Military coup of 1973. What is the meaning of coup? C-O-P-U. It is a sudden overthrow of a government in an illegal way. Again, I am going to tell you what is the meaning of coup. It is a sudden overthrow of a government in an illegal way. On the morning of 11 September 1973, the military took over the seaport. The defense minister was arrested by the military when he arrived his officer. The military commander asked the president to resign, but Allende refused to resign to leave the country. By realizing the danger to the country and to his life, he addressed the people on the radio, part of which we read in the beginning. Then the military surrounded the president's house and started bombing it. President Allende died in the military attack. This was a sacrifice he was talking about in his last speech. A government elected by the people was overthrown by the military through conspiracy and violence. Now I am going to tell you about the topic. What is the topic? Military coup of 1973. On 11 September 1973, the military took over the seaport. The defense minister was arrested by the military, and the military of Chile asked the president, who was the president? Allende was president, to refuse from his post, but he refused it, and he also refused to leave the country. When he saw that his life was in a danger position, he addressed the people on the radio that the military surrounded the president's house. The military of Chile surrounded the president's house and started bombing it. At that time, President Allende died in the military attack. What a dangerous position. This was the sacrifice he was taking about in his last speech. When he was giving his speech, at that time the military of Chile overthrew on his house, and elected by the people was overthrown by the military. The military power came instead of democracy. In Chile in 1973, what took place on Chile in 1977 was a military coup, but the military power came instead of democracy. On 11 September 1973, in Chile, military power came instead of democracy. General Augusto Pinochet, and army general, who was the army general Augusto Pinochet, led the coup. Who was the leader of the military camp? Augusto Pinochet, pronounced Pinochet. The government of the United States of America was unhappy with Allende's rule and is known to have supported and funded activities that led to the coup. Pinochet became the president of the country and ruled it for the next 17 years, or the 11th September 1973 to after 1990. The 1973 to 1990, you will calculate 17 plus, Pinochet became the president of the Chile from a government that was elected by the people, the power shifted to the military office. I had already explained it that military power came instead of democracy. When the Chile became a democratic country, at that time Allende was the president. When the military power came, at that time Pinochet became the president of Chile. A military dictatorship was established in Chile. Pinochet's government tortured and killed several those who supported Allende and those who wanted democracy to be restored. These included General Alberto Bachelet of the Chilean Air Force and many other officers who refused to join the coup. General Bachelet, again I am going to tell you the topic that Pinochet came and the people who supported the Allende, they were given punishment and they were killed who supported the democratic government and who supported the Allende theory, Allende policy, they were killed by the Pinochet. What a terrible position during 1973 to 1999. At that time, military power was held in Chile. 1973 to 1990, military power was held in Chile. The first two topics I had explained it. Restoration of democracy. Pinochet's military dictatorship came to an end after he decided to hold a referendum in 1988. He felt confident in his referendum the people would say yes to his continuing his power. But the people of Chile had not forgotten their democratic tradition. Most of the people of Chile believed in democracy. Their vote was a decisive no to Pinochet. This led to Pinochet losing first his political and then his military power. How the military power abolished? Because most of the people of Chile wanted democracy and they opposed the Pinochet's rule. The hope Allende expressed in his last address was realized. Felony, cowardice and treason were finally punished. Political freedom was restored. Since then, Chile had held 4 presidential elections in which different political parties have participated. Slowly, the army's role in the country's government has been eliminated. The elected government that came to power ordered inquiries in Pinochet's rule. These inquiries showed that his government was not only very brutal but also very corrupt. Actually, democratic government was good for the most of the people of Chile, and when the military power was held in 1973, Pinochet became the president of Chile. At that time, corruption was increased. You have to read next page number 251 to page number 252. Democracy in Poland. Let us turn to another event, this time from Poland in 1980. At that time, Poland was ruled by the Polish United Workers' Party. This was one of the many communist parties that ruled in several countries of East Europe at that time. In these countries, no other political party was allowed to function. The people could not freely choose the leaders of the Communist Party or the government. Those who spoke against the leaders of the party, the government, were put in prison. The government in Poland was supported and controlled by the government of Soviet Union. At present time, it is known as USSR, a vast and powerful communist state. So at that time, Soviet Union was the communist country. On 14th August 1980, the workers of Lenin, shipyard in the city of Gdańsk, went on a strike. The shipyard was owned by the government. In fact, all the factories and big property in Poland were owned by the government. The strike began with a demand to take back a crane operator, a woman worker who was unjustly dismissed from service. The strike was illegal because trade unions independent of ruling party were not allowed in Poland. As the strike continued, a former electrician of the shipyard, Lech Walesa, joined the strike. He was dismissed from service in 1976 from demanding higher pay. Walesa soon emerged as the leader of the striking workers. The strike began to spread across the whole city. Now the workers started raising larger demands. They wanted the right to form independent trade unions. They also demanded the release of political prisoners and end to censorship on press. Now, I am going to tell you some facts of this chapter. So, now page number 252, two features of democracy. Two features of democracy. What is the meaning of features? Page number 252. I shall give you some important facts of this chapter in next class. The next class I shall give you some important facts through WhatsApp or in copy. What is the meaning of features, characteristics? Already you know that democracy means is the rule by the people, of the people, for the people. So we have read two different kinds of real life story. The story from Chile was of democratic government led by Allende being replaced by a non-democratic military government of Pinochet, followed by restoration of democracy. In Poland, we track the transition from a non-democratic government to a democratic government. I had already explained that when the Allende became the president of Chile, at that time Chile was a democratic country. Chile is a small country in America. When the Pinochet became the president of Chile, at that time military power came instead of or in place of democratic country. Now, what are the two features? What are the two features of democracy? That is the main point. First, you have to look at the people could not choose or change their rulers. Pinochet made no such claim and openly favored big capitalists in both and some common features. Now, there was no real freedom to express one opinion from political association and organized protest and political action. It is not a democratic country. In non-democratic country, what are the characteristics or features of non-democratic country? I am going to tell you what are the characteristics or features of non-democratic country, like monarchy, like dictatorship, like military country. What are the people could not choose or change their rulers. It is not possible for the people to change the rulers. There was no real freedom to express one's opinion from political association and organized protest and political action. Okay, so I am going to tell you that in non-democratic country, people could not choose or change their rulers. And again, another point is that people had no freedom. People has no freedom to express their opinion, to express their views in non-democratic country. People cannot form any political association. People cannot form any political association and cannot protest against the work of government. But the topic is that two features of democracy. So I am going to explain in democratic country like India, people can protest against the work of government. First point, you can write in your rough copy or fair copy, what are the features or characteristics of democracy? First point, its opposite. First point, the pupil of democratic country can protest against the work of government like India. Another point is the pupil can express their opinion. The pupil can express their opinion or views. Pupil can form any political association, and pupil can protest against the work of government. Pupil can participate in the decision making. It is the characteristics of democratic country. Now, from these two stories, let us draw a rough way to identify democracy. Democracy is a form of government. Democracy is a form of government that allows people to choose their rulers. So, what is the characteristics of democracy? Democracy is a form of government that allows people to choose their rulers. In a democracy, only leaders elected by people should rule the country. Only leaders elected by people should rule the country, or those who became the leader of the country, or those who became the minister of the country, they can rule the country. Now, page number 253, open your book. Pupil have the freedom. I had already explained it. Pupil have the freedom to express views, freedom to organize, and freedom to protest. Again, I am going to tell you. Pupil have the freedom to express views, freedom to organize, and freedom to protest. We shall come back to this question in chapter 2 and develop a definition of democracy. We shall also note some features of democracy. Now, if I ask you, what are the difference between non-democratic and what are the different features on non-democratic country and democratic country? You can easily write it by yourself. You should write by. I am going to tell you by through explanation. In democratic country, people can protest against the work of government. In non-democratic country, people cannot protest against the work of government. Again, I am going to tell you what are the characteristics or features of democratic country and non-democratic country. In democratic country, people can choose their rulers, but in non-democratic country, people cannot choose their rulers. Point number 2, in democratic country, people have the freedom to express their views or opinion, freedom to organize, and freedom to protest. But in non-democratic country, people cannot protest against the work of government. People have no right to form any political association. People cannot protest. People cannot give their expression against the work of government. Okay? Now, I think you have understood what I have explained. I have given you explanation. Now, the 3 maps of democracy. 20th century was full of kind of stories. We have read about stories of transition to democracy, of challenges to democracy, of military coups, of struggles of the people to bring back democracy. You should read the topic very carefully. Was there a pattern to the stories that record both the march towards democracy and the setbacks to democracy? Let us use the basic features we noted earlier and identify democracies among different countries of the world. I am going to tell you the first map, second map, and this is the third map of democracy. Now, in the 20th century, what do you mean by 20th century? 1900 to 1999. In the 20th century, most of the countries became democratic. After most of the Asian countries and African countries became a democratic country. Thank you very much. एक वीडियो होगी
हो गया
एक
करना
और करना है कि नहीं करना